Morning. We're on day number 24, Exodus 19 through Exodus 21. It starts off with Moses. This is 2 months after the children of Israel left Egypt. And so after the manna situation, after Jethro, the father-in-law, visited and had given Moses some wise counsel to help him to lead the people. And so I thought it was wise advice. It really was. So now we're starting off with Moses climbing up Mount Sinai to talk to God. And so God tells Moses to remind the children of Israel what he's done for them. And if they keep his covenant and his promises and obey him, then they will be his treasure among everyone in the land. They will be his special people. And so that's something to think about, guys. This is the same God who we serve now. If we just be obedient to God, deny a lot of our selfish desires, and just let him be our God and let him lead us, then we're his special people as well. So now Moses goes down the mountain. God also says he wants to meet the children of Israel, to meet him, and set up a boundary where the children of Israel can't touch the mountain. Anyone touches the mountain, them or their animals, they're going to die. And so Moses goes back, tells the elders everything that God had told him. And he lets them know that God wants to meet them as well. And so the children of Israel, they basically says, oh, okay, yeah, we'll be that special people. We'll obey God. We'll follow him. And so they set up the boundaries and prepare themselves to meet God, consecrate themselves, clean themselves up. And so Moses lead them in the wilderness to near the mountain, but do not cross that boundary. So once the children of Israel get there, God comes down in the form of a cloud, fire, rumbling mountain. Whoa, the theatrics, right? And he talks to Moses through thunder. So, children of Israel actually witnessed that. And so God eventually tells Moses, meet me back up the mountain. So that's what he does. He climbs back up the mountain and he tells Moses, go back down, tell the children of Israel, do not cross the boundary. If you touch this mountain or cross the boundaries, you will die. So do not cross the boundary. So Moses they got the message. They got this. I told them they know not to cross it. Moses had some faith in those children of Israel. Now, he had the faith that they wouldn't touch it. But will they touch it? Time will tell. Anyway, so God proceeds to give Moses the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. And I look at those 10 Commandments, it basically sums up: have no other God before me. Love me, your God, I'm your creator, basically. And he tells us how to treat others. If you just follow these commandments, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't murder, don't covet, which is have a strong desire for your neighbor's whatever they have, their wife, their servants, their land. Don't be jealous of your neighbor. And don't murder, don't steal, don't commit adultery. Don't use God's name in vain. Don't misuse his name. That's basically the covenants, the promises, the commandments that God say don't do. There's 10 of them. Don't lie on your neighbor. Don't steal. Think about it. I mean, if you love your neighbor, you won't do those things. So God is basically telling them how to show love to one another. If you read his commandments, that's all he expects for us to do. That genuine love that causes us not to steal from one another, that tells us not to commit adultery or step outside of our marriage with another person. Because if we love our person the way we're supposed to, we won't hurt them by sleeping with another. Don't murder. If we love our neighbor, we'll just take it one for the team and just walk away. We won't murder our neighbors. So those are the things. Oh, and the Sabbath day. Work 6 days. That seventh day, rest. He said he did it. Now, he created the whole earth and everything in it in 6 days. That seventh day he rested and made that 7th day holy. And that 7th day is whatever day you're going to choose in that week. So, yeah. And so, you know what, guys? We're heading into the area where it may seem a little boring, but then there's still drama coming up. But notice how God is teaching the children of Israel how to be that special people. That's all he's doing. He tells them in the next chapter, the last chapter we read today, how to treat their slaves. And I know we're against slavery, but we're talking about way back in the beginning when there were slaves. He tells them how to treat them, because even your slaves, treat them right. He tells them how to treat one another. Remember, our morals come from somewhere. And they come from, if you look back at the scriptures, you'll see that's where it all began, where God teaches us how to treat each other. They didn't have a Bible before that. They didn't have those instructions like that. So our grandparents and all them, they learned from the Bible how we should treat others, and we tell each other how to treat. We teach each other, and we teach our children, and that's how it happens. So now they're learning how to treat each other. That's all the word does. Tell us how to treat each other. Tell us how to love one another. Tell us how to love God, how not to put anything over God. That's what we do a lot of times. We get so wrapped up in the things of this world that we completely forget about God, and we start worshiping our possessions and the people on this earth, and God is saying, don't get caught up in all that. No, I want you to love each other, but don't put anything or anyone above me. I am your God. I am your provider. If you need anything, I'm the source of your supply. And so that's what he teaches them. And that's what he wants us to do, to rely on him for everything. So these next few chapters may seem a little boring. There's going to be some drama in there too. The drama's not over. The Bible is actually full of drama, to be honest with you. But I want you to look at what God is telling. Try to understand why he allowed certain things, why he did certain things, why was he so strict about, if you cross this boundary, you will die, children of Israel. He's teaching them how to be obedient. Okay? And you'll see this is a rebellious group, just like the people of today, a rebellious group. And we have to teach ourselves to do better. We have to self-control, but we can do it only with God's help. So that's day number 24. Exodus chapter 19 through 21. You guys have a blessed day, okay?